I think Facebook is a phenomenon today for a variety of reasons. The number one reason is that people really do want to know more about their friends, and Facebook provided an extraordinarily efficient way to do that, which is why 850 million people around the world have adopted it in less than 8 years. Beyond that, I think it's very suited for a world where transparency is an increasing reality that everybody just has to live with, and it increases transparency and communication between citizens and companies, governments. It's just a tool for more efficient communication in every possible direction, and people like that. Well, I think government has to leverage Facebook for the same reasons that any organization has to leverage Facebook. You know, government really is just a set of service organizations that are, operated at the behest of the citizenry, and any service organization has to be in closer touch with its constituents than it ever was before. And there is a variety of tremendous, great tools now available for that purpose, Facebook being the leading one just because of the number of people who are using it. So, you know, every organization in government or outside has a huge opportunity to interact more aggressively with its citizens, constituents, customers, to hear what they want and adapt accordingly. Because the old days of just doing something and trying to convey to your customers or constituents what it is and hope they come use it are gone. You have to work with your community to figure out what to do. That applies to government as well as to any other entity. But governments historically have changed much more slowly. So it's much harder because you have to have, in many cases, legislators understanding it and passing new laws that create agencies. So the process of adaptation is going to be much more painful for government. My prediction would be that a lot of agencies are going to find themselves irrelevant before the legislators pass new laws to change their mission or create new agencies. It's going to be weird. Well, I think government should interact with the public as any service organization should, and I do think that citizens increasingly are going to see government agencies more as service agencies than they have in the past. Everyone's expectations for customer service are going up in every interaction they have. You know, little things do matter. You know, I live in Manhattan, and the New York City Department of Motor Vehicles created an office on 34th Street, so you don't have to go down to City Hall anymore. So, you know, little things matter, and that's just a simple example of responsiveness. But those kinds of things are going to happen across the board, and when you bring the online world in and all the things that can be done online to better serve a citizen, you know, there's an endless range of things that agencies can do. And it will get more demanding with time because you've now got citizens with mobile devices expecting to interact with the government agency wherever they are. You know, interestingly, I think law enforcement has actually done a better job of adapting to a lot of these tools than many other parts of government, in part because social media is such an incredible tool for them to achieve the result of catching the criminals and dealing with them. So, you know, there's maybe something to learn from the police. Well, you know, government agencies are just like any other kind of organization trying to maintain a dialogue with their customers or constituents, and that requires them effectively to be more transparent in the world we now live in. And you know, it's a great impulse that I understand that many companies and agencies have to control the dialogue about what they're doing, and if they hear something too negative on their website or their Facebook page, erase it. But that is inviting disaster because people want to speak and be heard, and they don't like to be censored. And you know, we do live in a country of free speech, and you know, unfortunately that requires sometimes gritting your teeth and tolerating negative comments that you'd rather not have made. The best response to that is to figure out how to answer that with a compelling rebuttal, or say, you know what, it's a reasonable criticism, here's how we're planning to change that. Well, the future of social media is really anybody's guess. I think that it's really becoming an overwhelming part of the modern cultural, political, government, commercial landscape. So identity and the easier ability of ordinary people to broadcast their views, which is to their friends and others, which are sort of basic things that social media creates, are just going to get more and more efficient, and they're going to be better and better tools, some provided by Facebook, some provided by applications on Facebook, some provided by startups that are going to emerge out of garages or college dorm rooms that are even better than Facebook. We don't know what they are, but I'll tell you this, the entrepreneurial energy that's devoted to improving the power of the individual in every kind of interaction they have in society is extraordinary. So all those entrepreneurs are just going to be putting more and more tools in the hands of individuals, and whether we like it or not, as institutions, we're going to have to deal with those newly empowered people. I think there's innumerable ways that governments can leverage social media to improve communications and save money. I think, you know, it's all a matter of the creativity of those people in government. I think the more you think of yourself as a customer service agency and a customer service oriented organization, the better you're going to do at all that. You know, I just really think it's wrong to think we have decided here on high what our message is, and we are now going to broadcast it to the citizens who will now know what we are all about. Those days are over. It's more about, here's what we think you want, how can we deliver it to you better? Let's listen to you so we can get you what you want faster.